Hi everyone, this is Aaron. This is video 2 of a tutorial on TI-Nspire CAS calculator. In this video, I'll talk about how to navigate a document, how to copy and paste efficiently, as well as calculator shortcuts. Let's get started. Okay, so first of all, I'll talk about how to navigate a document. It's quite simple actually. So basically what we've got here is a new document. And if you want to add a new page, you just do Control Document, and then you can choose one. And if you want to add a new problem, you will just do Document for one and choose one. Now, as I've said earlier in the previous video, I would recommend having a few pages in each document so that you can spread out your working outs. Therefore, after you finish the exam, if you want to go back and check your working outs, it will be a much easier task for you. So now, how to go back to the previous or the next page? You would just do Control left to go to the previous page and Control right to go to the next page. And if you would like to have an overview of all of your problems, you do Control up. And now you can right click to get more options. And in the handheld, the way you do right click is you do Control menu. And you can, as you can see, you can delete or cut or copy a page. And also you can highlight this problem and then rename it by right clicking, as you can see here. And if you want to return, you can either click this again, or you can just do Control down. Yep, so that's it. Okay, so now I'll talk about how to copy and paste efficiently. Now this is important because when you're doing a calculation on a CAS, a lot of the times you will need to use your previous entries. And even though this is really easy on a computer, it's not as easy on a handheld, but there are a few tips and tricks. So as you can see, I have typed 10 entries for demonstration, and we'll try to copy and paste some of these numbers. Now let's start with an easy case first. Say we want to copy and paste our previous entry, which is this 10. Now this is really easy. We can just do that by typing Control and minus, and say we might want to add 1 to it. And it's done. You can see that this 10 is copied and pasted here, just what we want. Now let's start with a more challenging case. Say we want to copy and paste this 6. Now a really straightforward way of doing this is to just click this up key a lot of times until we highlight it, and then do Control C, which is copy, and go all the way back, and do Control V, and here we got the 6. Now this works, but this is not the best way. And a better way is to do Control 9, which basically means scrolling up. As you can see, we cover much more lines by doing Control 9, and now we just need to highlight it and copy it. To highlight something on a handheld, you can do Shift and then left or right, depending on where your pointer is. And then you can do Control C, and then to go back, you don't have to click the down button. Instead, you can just click Escape or Control 1 to go back to the current line, and Control V. That's easier. And this, an even better way, and that is after you highlighted it, instead of doing Control C, you can just click Enter, and this basically means copy it and paste to the current line. Now, an important thing to note about this Enter feature is that it will copy and paste what you highlighted to where your pointer last is before it leaves the current line. So what I mean by that is, suppose you want to copy this 10 and paste it here, right? So if you just click Enter, it'll be here instead of here, because that is where your pointer last leaves this line. Therefore, in this case, I think the best way is to just use Control C and Control V instead, in order to paste this 10 to the correct place. However, this isn't a problem when you use Control 9, because if you do Control 9, your pointer never goes here. So like it will copy and paste correctly, just as what you expected. So basically that's it. For long range copy and pasting, I recommend Control 9 and Enter. But for short range, I recommend just using Control C and Control V. Right, so now I'll talk about some more shortcuts relating to control. The first one I want to cover is Control Enter, which basically allows you to get an approximate answer. Since we're now in exact mode, when we perform a calculation, we'll always get an exact answer. However, sometimes we might want to get a decimal answer, and we can do that by using Control Enter. Here we go. An application of this is to convert from radians to degree. So for example, we've got 1 here, that's in radians, and we want to know what that is in degrees. And we can simply do that by multiplying it by 180 over pi and hitting Control Enter. And here's the degree. Now, the second thing that I want to cover is how to define something using the Control shortcut. And that's also really easy. You just do Control and then hit this thing. And how it works is that you would do like, for example, if you want to define a to be 2, you just do a, do this, and then 2. So now you can manipulate a as if it's 2. For example, a minus 2, which is 2 minus 2, should be 0. Yeah. And the amazing thing about defining something is that this thing doesn't have to be a number. It can be basically anything, like an expression, a vector, and even a relation. So for example, you can do like a equals x squared plus y squared equals 1, which is a circle, right? And now if you type a, you just get this. So basically, my recommendation is if you see a function or a relation at the start of a problem, you know you're going to use it a lot of times. So just define it, right? And also, so currently I'm defining without parameters, but you can also define with parameters to make substitution much easier. For example, you can do like define fx to be x plus 1. And then if you want to sub x equals 2, you just do f2, which is really easy. And the important thing to know is that you can have more than one parameter. So for example, you can have a multivariable function fxy equals x plus y. And to all right, so I should define a new function. You can do gxy equals x plus y. And to sub x equals 1, y equals 2, it's really easy. You just do g12. And there you go. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope it's helpful to you. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe and maybe even share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate that. See you next time.